Okay, I think we're ready, maybe? Yep, we're good to go. Let's start.
Okay, great. Indeed, I see the Effect Network bot. Hi, everybody. So today is the 26th of July, 2023. We'll be having another DAO call today, the bi-weekly DAO call of the Effect Network. First off, we'll get started with the agenda. Afterwards, we'll go on to the proposals, and we'll have some space at the end, like for any other topics that we can discuss, such as today's events. But first, let's get started with the agenda. So for today, we have one big agenda item that has several questions in it. I guess let's just start with the first one. The first question is, what can we do to generate new interest into Effect AI? Yeah, this is still a very relevant question. It's important as always, especially right now. Oh, hi, Gabbie. Thanks for dropping by. That reminds me, Gabbie will also be doing a little presentation or a little update today about what's been going on with marketing and what our marketing plans are. But yeah, what can we do to generate new interest into Effect AI?
That's the question. Yeah, it's a great question. Of course, this question could be on the agenda every DAO call, but we don't. Yeah, it's good that someone put it out there because especially now, I think it's incredibly important we get people interested and get more attention on the project. So yeah, it's good. We should all this should be the priority of what we're building and doing right now is to get more attention to our product. We need it for all kinds of reasons. We need it for token health. We need it for workers and requesters on the platform. And it has been too silent, and we have not had enough attention and interest and new inflow of talent into the project for some time. So especially with today's events of like Kucoin announcing they're delisting us, which is very unfortunate. And yeah, it just means we need to pay really good attention to these parts because there's so many things that we're doing right now that are really, we're building some incredible things that will work out. Like if we do proper marketing and we build things out and we communicate well, we can like 100% surely create the traction again and make sure that we reach that, right? So yeah, it should be a real point of focus. To give a few points on how I think that should work, of course. I think we should all, like if people have ideas, then let's all contribute as well. But for now, we really need to get more users and other projects from other ecosystems to use our product. I think we have a really powerful solution for people to use, like for especially within the AI space across different ecosystems, like not only within the EOS or Web3 ecosystems, but across different ecosystems. People can really tap into our solution and use all the Web3 benefits and the decentralization that is that people are attracted to in the space. So we need to position ourselves right. And right now we're working, like I'm working together with some of the team members, writing out a detailed, really big blog post on the things we're building currently to make sure we communicate it properly, because there's a lot going on. Some things are longer term, some things are shorter term. But we want to make sure we communicate everything clearly and make sure we can tap into other ecosystems where possible. So yeah, like we're going to write out the sort of bigger things we're building in a blog post. Like I said, like some of them will be like worker onboarding, making sure we have like mobile applications and proper user interfaces for workers to easily onboard into the platform and use our product from different ecosystems. But even a more important side would be where we integrate with other projects, for example, projects like Ocean Protocol or like tapping into creating a Python SDK and tapping into the machine learning ecosystems and promoting our product there. I think those are the places where we can really get attention to our product. So we have a few products that are specifically aimed at achieving that, which should get the highest priority to make sure we get new attention and influx into the product.
Indeed.
I'll just leave it at that. So other people.
Indeed.
Go ahead.
One other project that we're busy with at the moment is the Leon integration. Leon has expressed interest that they need data labeling for their data sets, and we've been creating a tool and experimenting a little bit with the tools that they use for data labeling and trying to integrate that into the Effect Network platform. So that's also an ongoing project at the moment in order to integrate the machine learning community a bit more into what we're doing here.
I also want to stress too that, it's not just those of us DAO members who are team members that are tasked with doing the marketing and the outreach. It takes all of us to promote our project. DJ is a great example of this. He reaches out to places that he sees when he's online and is like, hey, you should check out Effect Network. He invites people into our servers. He invites people to connect with us. He sets up group chats with us and these people he's outreaching to, to make things happen. And any one of us can do this. So it's not just, on Gabbie or Jesse or me or anybody else on the team to make these things happen. DJ's proof positive that anyone in the DAO or even just a non-DAO member, anyone in our community can do these things to help promote interest, because when we get dApps and companies using our network, it just makes our project grow and it makes us stronger. So I just wanted to put it out there.
Of course, anybody is welcome to join the stage and also give input. So if anybody has any new ideas on how we can generate new interest, we're all ears.
And maybe just to touch on the marketing, Gabbie is here, but I just thought marketing efforts are also really important here. So we need to image and make sure we present ourselves in a way that's exciting and that wants people to join us. And we're taking the right steps already, but I think we have also, there's many opportunities and cool things we're already setting up or doing to make that happen. For example, we're going to do a series of hackathons again this year, which is a very good way to attract developers and attention from the dev community and AI community onto the project. Doing more interviews and videos and interactions with different ecosystems is important. I did a video, it just got released, but with someone from the EOS ecosystem, Nova Crypto, just an interview about the project, but there's many more opportunities like that around. So we're going to actively see if we can also do these kinds of video interviews, AMA type content across different ecosystems to talk about Effect Network and make sure we get new people aware of the project that way. So there's many more things happening. We're doing the Twitter Spaces that Gabbie has been setting up as well, which are really interesting. I'm really happy to do them, but it connects us with also many projects in the space. So this is something we're going to grow out as well. And there's more content. I think we should produce, for example, AI related blog posts is something that we're going to experiment with. If we can create really hands-on AI blog posts that use the Effect Network to integrate into existing technology. I think these are channels we should also, we're going to exploit an experiment with to make sure we get more attention from different angles. Gabbie, welcome on stage.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I was just reading the discussion points on the agenda. And well, I think pretty much they're all related to what you were just mentioning, Jesse. So yeah, those are the two big things that are happening right now on the marketing side, which is the upcoming hackathon, but just not this one. Also, we have created a way to structure them and to not have to make it such a big deal to throw a new one, so that we could do it easily and and in a good way. So we got that going on, and what is very connected to it is the Twitter Spaces podcast series that you all have heard of. We've had it since January, and it's connected because it has opened us a lot of doors with a lot of projects. And even though there aren't any partnerships for them to use the products, we have a partnership with them, in the sense that we are still collaborating. We're keeping in touch with all of them. For the upcoming hackathon, we have, it's not fully confirmed yet, but it's a very, very exciting partnership that we're trying to lock, and it's with Ocean Protocol. We kept the conversation going with them. We are in stages of, discussing how submissions can be connected to them, price pool, and all of these details. Prior to that, we were talking about it also with our Chain Labs US. They were very interested also in, joining us, but there was a little problem with the API they wanted to use for the hackathon. So we're going to keep that there for another hackathon. Also on the series, we have Fetch AI coming up. We don't have a confirmed date yet, but we are confirmed for them to join one of the spaces. So that's pretty big too. That's really a really nice project also to have with us. The upcoming one is going to be with Blackbird.ai. So what we're doing is we are, talking to these projects. We are creating relationships with them. We are keeping those relationships through Telegram. I keep in touch with all of them at all times. We still, since the one we had in January, we still have contact with them. We have the transcriptions going on. And then those are the two big things going on. And I guess on the side, what I'm doing, as always, is I'm always trying to reach out to projects that might use the dApps that we have already working on the ecosystem. 1 second. Sorry. For example, there is this huge company here in Amsterdam. It's called Vinted. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's this buy and sell used clothes, furniture, and stuff. So they have very bad metadata for their images. So it's like impossible to find, I don't know, like a red dress that has stars in it. So I texted them. I got a response back. We're talking a little bit, but this is a process that I've been doing and repeating, and I guess it's hard to onboard projects in that are not in Web3 into a Web3 space, and also with the development that we got going on. I guess it's not as easy as it sounds, but it's there, it's happening, I'm doing it. I'm also following up with everything that DJ suggests at all times. So I'm super open to anybody. Also, if you know of companies that could use it, I guess this is what the community, what we are all here for. So yeah, I guess that's what I can say that's going on right now. Don't know if there's any questions, suggestions. I'm open to anything. I'll be joining these calls much more often so we can have a direct talk. Can anybody let me know if you hear me, because I don't know if I'm just having my...
Yes, perfectly clear, Gabbie.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. That's
Excellent,
really
Gabbie.
important.
You just had all of our full attention.
Oh, okay. All right, good. So yeah, that's I guess that's pretty much the update that I can give so far.
No, thank you, Gabi. Thanks for the update. Yeah, sometimes I can imagine like there's a lot of work that goes into it that doesn't get appreciated, and you don't showcase all of the times that you need to repeat yourself in order to get a connection going, or the times that you get a refusal, and that doesn't get shown
Oh,
in
yes.
public.
Yeah, you live in the world of rejection when you're trying to onboard someone. But sometimes it happens, and that's a good thing. So just keep it going.
Thanks
Great.
for the excellent update. I think you really filled everyone in on the things that are going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
that you're doing, that they just don't see or hear, and then they think, oh, nothing's happening, and that could not be further from the truth.
Yeah. It's a lot of relationship, also kind of PR thing going on. So, yep.
And I see Ellen's question in the chat that we need more partnerships and dApps to get traction. And yeah, just reading the chat here that I didn't see it was there. But yeah, good point. So partnership should be an important part. Like when Kraft Heinz was on the platform, there was like a massive deal where there was big traction and a lot of tasks happening on the platform. So partnerships like that should be really important. Gabi, you mentioned Vinted. That's news for me, but that sounds like a perfect plan. So would love to also discuss it with you. But you brought many more possible like partnerships or potential clients for data annotations. So this is definitely one of the priorities for us now. As we have a working product, we should integrate, like we should work on that side of partnerships more and more now. So yeah, there was a good point, Ellen. I like that's very true.
Yeah, and I think there's also, I guess there's two kinds of partnerships, because we also have these projects that are, joining us in the spaces and then doing a little bit of noise about us, and that we keep the conversation going. And even though they're not directly using any of the dApps yet, we have the relationship there. So in the future, new dApps come into the ecosystem that they might be able to use. We're in their minds. We already know them. The conversation's open. So I think that's something important too that we have right now, and maybe we didn't have it 6 months ago. So
I see a message that came in the chat just now, and it is from, where'd it go?
Is there a reason we aren't on TikTok?
Yes,
From
there
Rob.
we go. I think that has to do with the audience. Is our audience on TikTok?
Yeah, I also see Vinted big in the UK. Yeah, here in the Netherlands, it's huge too. And I'm a very I'm a very happy user, but they need better data annotation. So hopefully something might come out of there. I don't want to get anybody
Content
excited.
that we need to produce to be able to be on TikTok.
Yeah, about TikTok. We used to be on Facebook. We used to be on Instagram, and we've always been on Twitter. And we noticed, the interaction and the audience that is there. It just wasn't working for us. TikTok is very similar to Instagram. It's even for a younger crowd. So our audience right now is on Twitter, and that's what's been working for us. I don't have anything closed for in the future. Doors are always open. threads is coming up too. So that might be, I think that would be something much more appropriate for the project than TikTok. But yeah, that's pretty much why.
Of course, we always have our eyes on the decentralized Web3 social media platforms too.
Yeah.
But they're still in their infancy.
So Alan also asked a question about where is Lawrence. Like, I think that kind of keys in well into the next question on the agenda, which is, are the team is this team? My apologies. Is the team still fully behind this project? So indeed we are. Everyone here is part of the core team, and we are busy on the project, mostly part-time. And Lawrence has recently started a family, and so that has been the main reason why he hasn't been available anymore, just due to his priorities changing a bit and being more involved with his new family instead of being involved with this.
Yeah, and of course
momentarily.
we're fully behind the project. We're all working really hard on this, and we actually had a team meeting yesterday where we kind of said like we're like too silent, like there's not enough updates coming out. We're working a lot, doing a lot, but there is not much coming out, like updates, community updates, even like the software we're building right now is we're not communicating well enough. So like this is going like we're going to be way more communicative again, and make sure we do like weekly updates to everyone on the development updates. And also make sure, we keep everyone in the loop because we know it's really important. And we had a time before where we were not communicating well enough. So especially now it's really important. We want everyone to sort of, and also be able to pitch in direction we're taking. But we're all working really hard. We're about to publish a blog post later, at the end of the week, like detailing all sort of the upcoming things we're building and what they look like, and the structure of all the projects that are currently being developed and pursued. So I think it will give a lot of clarity on what's going on right now and where we're heading. Which there's some exciting things there.
Great, thanks, Jesse. The next question is, as we have a fully working product, who is employed to get the word out there? As Gabbie already mentioned, she's been in charge of that. The next one, AI is the buzzword. Are we going to miss the boat?
We're in it, so I don't think that we're not in the boat, because I see us as in the boat.
I would like to add a few things as well. So I have a background in AI and the current what's happening right now in the AI space is very interesting, and it's like the current times are extremely exciting in the AI space, and we are an AI project. We've like over the 6-7 years that we've been building, we had a few other turns that we took, but we've always been like the core of it has always been around AI, and we definitely don't want to miss the boat. But I think especially now, if we see what's happening within AI, if you look at what people are building, every week there's new libraries coming out, like Llama Index. There is all these new Llama and Alpaca, which are open source language models. Sorry if that's not everyone knows that, but these are like open source versions of ChatGPT that the open source community is actively working on. And they're building new updates of these every few weeks. So I think we are missing out on the big potential of getting partnerships there, because we're right now, our product it's a bit too hard to use for them. They're used to having a Python coding environment where they do their data science and they import their pandas library and they import some other data science libraries, and then they just want to interact with data. And right now, like one of the experiment projects that we're currently building that we'll talk more about later this week in the blog post, but we're looking into creating a Python SDK so the AI community can directly call annotated data sets and get them from within their coding environment. Like no need to go to app.effect.network and like it's that doesn't work for them. That's just it's too foreign. So I think there's a lot of things we can do to really be an important piece of the puzzle when it comes to AI, and especially AI when it's like the open source AI communities is I think where we fit in perfectly because we're an open source community based like our workers are all like it's clear that we're not like Amazon Mechanical Turk where you buy data from like sweat houses somewhere in low paying countries. This is really a decentralized network where open source communities they really care about. So yeah, it's important we do get more in touch with the AI building community, and I think these are the things we really have to put our shoulders behind and make work, and also get to be well known within the ecosystems. A good example is Lion. So Lion, this came from an introduction by DJ actually, because he was in the Discord of Lion and people were talking about data. He said, hey, we have this open data annotation platform. So there was a lot of interest straight off the bat. And I think there's way more potential there, but we've been working with them. David has been building a solution for Label Box, which is an environment where you can do data annotations, and he's been hooking that up to Effect Network. So if this works out, we ran into technical issues and it's been taking a bit longer than expected, but if this works out, there's a big potential that we can annotate some really big data sets for the data science community. And if we do that a few times, there will be, we have great showcases and we can really, expand to other communities.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. I would also like to add that indeed, I do think we did kind of miss the boat with the AI tags on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. We did try to get those tags for our project, but they didn't want to recognize us as an AI crypto project. Hopefully, with these new pushes and these new partnerships, it will solidify our presence within this space and solidify us as an AI project with those particular aggregators.
We have it on CoinMarketCap, the AI tech. It's just that CoinGecko, for really unknown reasons, they removed it, and they've been very mysterious about putting it back. So I'm not sure why, and we've sent them all the evidence, but they're kind of mysterious on the reason why they put it back.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we'll try again in the future. The next question is, what has happened to Kraft Heinz? Has all their work been done? We were led to believe there was the potential for lots of work.
Yeah. Sorry. I can answer this one. Yeah, there was potential for more work. For Kraft Heinz, we've done a lot of assignments, like a lot, and we were expecting to do more. But so far, this hasn't come through. Like every year, like these big companies, they do their like selection of vendors and for translations and stuff. What we did for Kraft Heinz was translating a lot of their materials from scratch, which was a really big assignment. And after that was done, we have still connections with them. So there is potential that and we're in their like short list of translation suppliers. But we did not get any big assignments from them afterwards. Also, these assignments, they have been in the past pretty distractive to building out the network, because translations are a very tricky subject. Like to deliver quality requires like an immense amount of like supervision and project management. Like it's not just data science. This is like a proper, like you need to have HR and management, and there was a lot of work going into that deviates from what we do as a core technology in the platform. So one thing that we didn't do as a team was take on smaller translation assignments from anyone, because it's just the overhead is way bigger than what we get out of it as a platform when it comes to micro tasks and product development. It's just a big amount of overhead. And yeah, so only for like a really big assignment, it would be worth it for us to take that on as a team. Also, yeah, with the platform right now, translations are just, like I said, it's not the right fit for our platform. In my opinion, I think AI is now the real big focus, and I think we should really, translations are, this ecosystem is changing so fast that we've sort of put translations on a lower priority list compared to artificial intelligence. When you look at artificial intelligence, there's the innovation on even the area of translation means that this entire space is going to change really quick. And we should really focus on maybe integrating, if we do another translation kind of service on our platform, or there is an opportunity that we want to pursue, I think it should be really focused on AI, where the AI does the translation and we sort of do the human in the loop. And also maybe, connect the AI and the human in the loop to create a end-to-end pipeline. But that's why we currently don't have any tests from clients coming into.
And two,
the fit just isn't there at the moment.
You have to look at what that product was. And to speak in the most general terms, a manufacturing company has operations manuals that they have, and they get them translated. Now they're going to use that operations manual for years. It's nothing that's going to be constantly updated or changed or redone. So it's almost like translating a book. You translate a book once, there's no more translations to do unless there's a new book. So unless there's new manuals that they want to get done from scratch, there's really nothing for them to do. But what Jesse said, the overhead, AI has gotten really good at translations. However, when it comes to technical things and niche sectors, these different areas are going to have their own terminologies and things that are used a certain way, or words that are specifically used by a company in a certain way. So while AI is really good at translating right now, what I see happening is people are going to use AI to do initial translations, and then they're going to need humans in the loop to change the AI's translations to be fitting and more personalized to the sector or the company or the specific subject, so it sounds true and coherent. So that's where I see translations shifting, if that makes any sense.
Thank you, Jesse and Rochelle, for your answers. The next question is there anyone approaching companies outside of crypto to try and sell the product? Gabbie has already mentioned that. The price of Effect AI has suffered relative to many other projects because we are reluctant to shill. Why not do what other projects do and shill a bit, improve the price of EFX, and put us in a stronger position when we look to run hackathons, etc. Personally, I do feel a bit reluctant to shill, especially being a bit more of a AI software-focused project. I've noticed that many developers are reluctant when a project is shilling, and instead of being more grounded in the technology that's being developed. So that's my personal view on why we don't shill as much. I'm not sure what your views are on this, Jesse or Rochelle or Gabbie.
Well, when they say
I-
shill, I
Go
think
ahead.
of the people who are like shilling tokens, like when a token sale's going on, you know, and all the Wind Moon and the Crypto Moon Boy speak and all that hype. And if that's what this person was meaning by shill, our project, I think we've outgrown that. We're not a brand new startup trying to raise capital and trying to get token holders and things in that respect. I think we're serious. We have a working product, and our focus is building the product and building our community. But that's just my thought on it and my impressions.
Yeah, I agree too. I think, yeah. So shilling is like, I think it's just a bad practice in general. So I wouldn't want, like, I don't like projects that do that too much. But especially when you look at the bear market, like if you don't shill in the bear market, like that doesn't work, right? Like in the bear market, we should be focusing on creating good partnerships, traction on the platform, building and communicating and showing you're a professional company, building great services in an open, transparent, decentralized way that AI industry can tap into. I think that's sort of the opposite of what is suggested with shilling. And I think that's what we really need to succeed at, to succeed as a project in the coming, like to be a massive, well incorporated AI system in 10 years from now, where everyone taps into for their human in the loop data as AI is spreading across the globe. That's like shilling doesn't get you there. It's really like creating partnerships, creating traction, and building this product out in a way that works well. So I think the topics we discussed before, how do we find clients outside of Web3, and how do we make partnerships? And I think these things are, first of all, they will have a way better impact on the token health than shilling, but also they're way more sustainable and important and real for us to achieve. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on that.
Thanks. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Rochelle, and thank you to whoever it was that submitted those questions. There are two other questions, one from Roddy Effects and one from Leholmi. Rod is asking how long will the Python SDK take to complete? I'm thinking upwards of 3 months is my initial estimate.
I am way more optimistic, but maybe not realistic. It's hard to put a date on it. I think we're like, the way we're going to work now is that we're doing experiments of technology that we want to try out. So ideally, we iterate on a piece of technology in 4 weeks to get like a version out of there. So that's what we are aiming for with the Python SDK as well. But that means that it's sort of in a early stage where we're going to try it out with projects, hopefully in the form of a partnership or an integration, or we write a tutorial on how to create a data pipeline using Python and Effect Network. That's more targeted toward external communities that already use that specific technology, in this case Python and data science tool sets. But yeah, I would say in the range of 1 to 3 months is like the big range that we're putting out there, and it will, like, we're gonna, what we're really working on right now is to work very much transparent. So we will be doing like weekly or bi-weekly updates on the progress we've made, and it's not like you won't hear anything and in 3 months it's done. Like that's also, I think, what can create disappointment, because the product might not work well, or we might not have tested it well with the users that are actually programming in Python. So we will iterate in smaller loops and make sure people can already play around with the SDK before it's properly finished, which would take way more time.
Yeah, indeed. I think it might take a little bit shorter just because we have the JavaScript SDK and we can use that as inspiration for how we should structure out the Python SDK.
Yeah, for the Python SDK, won't get too technical, but there is like, it looks a lot like the TypeScript SDK, and Python is not the hardest language to create things for, to create like libraries for. It's mainly that there is no EOS isn't very big on Python. There's a few people that wrote libraries to work with EOS on Python, and we need to do encoding and decoding of the data structures that are on the EOS blockchain and transactions. So there will be some trickiness in getting that right, but there are EOS Python libraries we can already use for that. So hopefully it won't be too intimidating.
It does seem like Antelope has a client for Python, but yeah, we can discuss that a bit further. The Hold Me asked when Hackathon.
Yeah, good question. We were aiming for August. It's looking like we're gonna postpone it a little bit to start because we're just already a little bit behind and we don't want to rush into it. But also there is a partnership for the hackathon that we really want to pursue. I don't know if we already mentioned this, but it's like it's a nice, it's just a partnership that would make a lot of sense and I think would get a lot of traction for the hackathon. So that's why we're probably going to postpone it a bit, because if we get the partnership working, Gabbie has been actively working on that with another project that's very relevant to us around data sets. So it would mean we would get like a way more beneficial hackathon. I think currently our aim is beginning of September, if I'm remember correctly.
September. It's
end of September.
Yeah, so the tentative date is on the 26th of September. We are waiting for confirmation for the partnership for the hackathon, so we can already, start announcing it and all of it. But marketing materials are pretty much ready. We are ready to start putting it out there. Just need this confirmation. But yes, tentative date would be September 26th.
Last but not least, Rod also had another interesting question. Jesse, you mentioned wanting to do a proposal for a swap in your latest interview. Could you expand on that?
For a swap, I'm trying to remember what this was about exactly. It was a swap for, I remember talking about potentially launching a FAC network on other EOS-based chains like Wax or Telos, because the Nova Crypto is he's been working a lot also with communities on those chains. So for us, it would be very simple to do because it's identical technology. So it would just mean deploying there. So if there's a good reason to do it, we could. But I think swaps, this is an interesting topic. This is actually one of the things we have like as an experiment on our work log now is to swap EFX in the background for EOS or USDT while working on the platform or as a requester. So you can basically to build that into the SDK where you automatically convert from EFX to the currency you would like to receive or to use. I've discussed this with David. Actually, this morning we had a call to go over that. David also suggested it. It would be a really nice thing to have. especially now with Kucoin disappearing as an option for trading tokens, which we need to find a solution to this. Like we need to find a good way for people to find liquidity to onboard and to affect network, especially as EOS is not the most user-friendly chain. We need to find a solution to the issue. But easily swapping from EFX to other currencies like USDT or EOS within the SDK and within the network seems like a very convenient thing, because if you can easily swap, for example, to USDT or EOS tokens, then for workers or for requesters that want to post tasks, they don't need to take that step to go to DeFi box or new DEX or bridge tokens to get EFX. It would be sort of transparent for them. It will go without too much effort. I think that's what you mentioned, Rob, but maybe if I misunderstood, let me know.
Great. That's fantastic. So those were all of the questions, all of the agenda items. Is there anything else anybody wants to discuss? I've submitted one proposal that I have assigned to the next cycle. We've been working on the DAO recently, just giving it a little bit of a facelift, and I've created a proposal for upgrading the front end. So yeah, please do go take a look at it. In the proposal, you'll be able to find the link as well to the newest version of the proposed DAO, which will implement profile pictures and some improved information overview, and just making the DAO a bit more easy to use, to invite people to come to the DAO calls a bit more, and have updated network statistics about what's happening, and just to make it a bit more nice for new users and existing users. And besides that, I think I would like to open up the floor for anybody else, for the audience, for any comments and or questions.
We covered a lot.
Hi guys.
Yeah, hey Bree.
I don't really have anything right now. There's a lot going on. From sitting on the sidelines more this month, or maybe it's been 2 months, I'm not sure. My time is just flying by. It doesn't feel like there's a lot going on, so it's nice to hear that there's still partnerships that are in discussion and things that we're not seeing. I agree. I wanted to say about the shilling. I know there's people who don't always agree with how I think, but I don't see any point in shilling anything in a bear market. It makes no sense. I'm not worried about KuCoin. The people who really want EFX will find it. And if we ever hit a bull market anytime soon, which I don't think will be anytime soon, we can find a solution at that point. Anyway, I just want to say hello to everybody. And I know it feels like I've kind of stepped back, but it's more like I'm just taking care of some health issues, and I've had company and friends over and stuff. And good job to everybody. Keep it up. Be more vocal. And congratulations to Lawrence on his family. But it would still be nice to see his face on occasion. Okay, that's it. I think.
Thanks, Bree. It's great to have you here. Thanks for the input. Totally agree with what you're saying, and good to see you again.
I see DJ's popped in.
Hey everyone. Sorry for being late. The internet's really spotty today. Out of all days, really. That
That's
happened to be
okay.
today.
I got
Hopefully
that.
recording
So
going.
far, yeah. So far it's going. So I hope it stays. So keep your fingers crossed.
All right. Yeah, I missed most of this, so I'll be listening to the recording. Hopefully, it's I guess a real rousing speech on how we can be positive with the whole Kucoin situation. Though I guess one positive thing to think about is I know Deep Brain Chain, another AI token, was delisted from Kucoin a long time ago as well, but they actually still managed to prosper during this recent AI burst of enthusiasm. So really, their example kind of shows that really you just have to keep at it and still focus on improving a platform so that something exists and is usable. So yeah, I did hear a little bit how you talked with Nova Crypto. I still need to watch that interview, but yeah, I think at this point we really have to focus on completely embracing the EOS community, because I think they will be the best source of support for us in continuing the vision on making the Effect Network a really useful platform for people to use.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're on EOS, and there is a good ecosystem here. So we'll be focusing. We're gonna double down on the EOS ecosystem and participate more in all the things that are going on. Yeah, that's a really good point. DJ, you've been really leading the way and connecting with a lot of projects, and it's great to see that. Even the Nova Crypto interview was because she listed us on the EOS DEN or EOS DE platform, which is nice. We're like the top project there, which I only saw it yesterday. But it was great. Yeah, great interview. But I'm excited and really open and supportive to do more of these interactions, work together with more projects. Open up the conversation and make sure as a community, like in the EOS ecosystem, that we're also helping out and working together with the rest. You missed a few things. We covered quite a bit in the call. We went over some roadmap type things and Python SDK, so you should definitely listen to the recording.
Oh, Python SDK, so that sounds good.
I'm scared that the recording is going to cut off and not happen if it's more than an hour long. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it for now, since we mostly covered everything. If that's okay with everyone. We can still keep going in the meeting. I'm just going to stop this.
Yeah, save the recording. That sounds like a good plan.
From within your notebook, and then slowly but surely you can kind of see your submission results trickling in, and it sounds like it'll be quite useful.
How about Label Studio? How's the progress on that? Did you cover that?
A little bit. I have been working on it. I didn't manage to make a lot of progress in the last week, but slowly but surely it's coming along. And we've identified a couple of problems that really make it clear that, okay, we need these features in order to make it a bit better. Users are kind of scamming the tasks, and so we've been working on a way of making validation a bit better. So that's the main stumbling block right now. But besides that, I'm really loving Label Studio, and I want to offer up a whole array of different templates. These using Label Studio as campaigns that Effect Network controls and administers, provides then to other data scientists to work with, to submit tasks to.
I want to clarify one point though. With those, we've run experiments with unvetted workers and then a small group of like workers we know don't scam tasks. And the experiment we ran where it required no qualifications, any worker was able to jump in the campaign, those ones got scammed. But the experiments we ran with just, a few certain worker IDs added that could access it, those normal workers did not scam the task. So when we get all of the like validation and features set out, to work with this template, we'll also be publishing like a qualifier test that will choose let workers demonstrate they know how to accurately draw bounding boxes, put in the text correctly and things like that and whatnot. So yeah, I don't want people to think that the workforce is just all scammers. It's certain things that make a campaign successful. So we've been testing out like every avenue while we're building this. So sorry. Yeah, just want to point that out.
Yeah, thanks for the input. Raud also mentioned he missed the conversation about the delisting of on Kucoin. And if you could elaborate a bit more on that, Jesse.
Yeah, of course. We didn't. Yeah, we covered it a little bit in the call, but of course, it's the most important news of the day. We were really surprised that this happened. We've had a good relationship with them. I think token performance was quite good. We've been on their exchange for a long time, but they were really decisive in their decision to delist us. We can only speculate, I think, on their real motives. Like I personally think they're just delisting a lot of smaller projects for maybe whatever reasons they have, but like just by market cap there, it feels like they're just delisting tons of projects. There's nothing we can do. Like we've really tried, talked with their team a lot and tried to figure out the exact like reasoning or process here, but it seems very they're just management decided to do this, and that's sort of the reasoning behind it that we got. So it's of course I was in the beginning I was pretty upset about it, obviously, because it's an important piece of our ecosystem for new users to come on board and to get traction, and it plays an important role. But yeah, they're a centralized exchange. They can do what they want. They are exercising a lot of their power. They're every funds that are on their exchange are in their control. There is downsides to being dependent on such a large exchange too, as a decentralized project. But anyways, we will have to move on. We will have to find alternatives to onboard users, to provide enough liquidity to everyone. And it's definitely not the end to us. It's a quite big inconvenience. Definitely, like if you look at token price and liquidity, it will take a hit, especially today. It has, which was very which makes sense. A lot of people have tokens on EFX tokens on Kucoin that they do not have convenient ways to hold them because they don't have an EOS account or a wallet to put them safely, which is hard. So we will support anyone that needs to get aid with setting up a safe EOS wallet, or if like we were even thinking to maybe supply free wallets for people that need it, so they can easily offboard. So we're offering support there, of course. Kucoin has also said they will provide ample of times, I think 6 months, but we will release like an official statement about this. But for people to withdraw their funds, it's really important everyone does that so they don't end up being claimed by Kucoin. Other than that, I think all we can do is now look for new places to find convenience in trading the token for users.
Did you say they only have 6 months and then Kucoin claims it?
I think that's how it goes. Yeah, it's very ugly business. I think they.
When the last time I checked, before this situation, I think Kucoin had like about 110 million EFX total on their platform. And so, knowing most people, I imagine many people are just holding EFX on there and completely forgotten about it. And so I wonder if they're just gonna seize like at least 10-20% of all EFX doing this. It's pretty outrageous in my opinion.
It is outrageous, but I wouldn't like. I think that's how it goes. It's so we will put we put a lot of effort in making sure people withdraw from there in time. It's really important. That's a lot of EFX. Yeah. So we need to make sure people withdraw. We had this we were once on Bidesk exchange as well, and something similar happened. They just basically went broke, I think, and they stole a whole lot of EFX in that process, and that was also really it was bad. And this is on a way larger scale, obviously. It's not the same, but we should really try to get people to encourage them to put it on a wallet like as soon as possible. So we will really try to reach out and communicate clearly on all channels and actively reach out to all users to make sure they know to withdraw their funds in 6 months, like as soon as possible, obviously. That being said,
Correct.
this is what it is, right? We cannot change this right now, and we can only we can find good alternatives. There's like delisting is not the end. Like KuCoin is not the final destination. It's just a means to an end that we've enjoyed using for a while, and now we will need to find other ways to get to where we need to go. At the time, like for right now, I think we want to strengthen our position in the DEXs that we have. Encourage people to take self-custody of their tokens. And in the meantime, we'll work towards a new road upwards and more convenience for everyone to trade tokens again.
Are there team tokens on KuCoin that can be removed?
If there's team tokens on KuCoin, as far as I'm aware, there's not. But no.
So that amount of EFX that's on KuCoin, that'll be all individual users then.
Well, there is individual use. I'm not sure how many tokens, because the market making company, they do have tokens on there that they have. I think they loan that or something. I'll look into it. It's not like 110 million is a lot of tokens. There's definitely a lot of user funds in there. So I think over the coming days, we will see. Yeah, we will see how many tokens will be left there. I guess we can see that in a wallet, right, DJ? There's just the KuCoin EOS wallet that has these tokens. So we'll keep a close eye on how much remains to be sure it's not too much.
They have a hot wallet and a cold wallet for EOS. So if you combine the two values, that's where I got my number.
Yeah. So wow, that's a lot. We'll put all the effort we can to make sure people withdraw it, because we don't want this to end up with KuCoin.
If KuCoin ends up with them, are they claimed theirs that they can then use them, or are they wiped out like burned?
They're as vague as always about what their intentions will be.
Now look at the chat. They deemed that the user has given up the funds and will have no rights to claim them back, or any other equally valued products from KuCoin. So they just keep them. It's right on their page in their announcement.
Oh yeah, I understand they keep them. I'm wondering what they do with them after they keep them.
They probably don't care right now too much about it, but they would still store it in their wallet. They have no sense to burn it.
No, so at some point those tokens could still re-enter the market.
Yeah, possibly. We don't know what they will do, but just speculating is my thoughts. They will just liquidate it at some point when they get in trouble, or when they need whatever. They will they would at some point liquidate it, most likely. and it's a centralized exchange. So we've seen the biggest centralized exchanges getting in trouble and falling over. So it's definitely, anything is possible in that regard.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is there anything else that we would like to talk about? Comments or questions?
Not from my side. I think we covered a lot, but if anyone has some questions, then I'll stick around.
As Lenny mentioned earlier, Eden on EOS, were you able to talk about during that interview with Nova Crypto?
Yes, I think we didn't really cover Eden on EOS, but he mentioned it, and I was quite interested. I must admit that I'm not too active or familiar with Eden on EOS, but I heard they might be able to. I might get this wrong. Maybe I have the wrong impression, but they might be able to be supportive of like a hackathon we're hosting or like some things like that. So they might be able to promote or go to like if it's supporting the EOS ecosystem. If there's a focus on that element, we might be able to collaborate. But it's on my short list now to at least become more familiar with Eden on EOS. So if you guys have any input on how we can work together or what we can do to collaborate, and yeah, I'm all ears.
Yeah, Lenny here is or was a chief delegate and is very active there. But yeah, in a nutshell, they basically have this voting process where a bunch of people, like 4 at a time, vote like their favorite person up a level until you get like the chief delegates, which is I think 2 levels, and those people run like a treasury of EOS that runs on donations. And then yeah, like lately they've been working on deciding what their vision should be for the future, and part of that vision I think is enhancing utilization of the EOS platform and things that can go. And part of that, I think they wanted to like look into projects on EOS and like invest in them potentially. I'm not sure on that part, but I do know for sure that they're interested in kind of in building more applications and stuff like that. So I think that's a so with hackathons, I think there's definitely a bunch of potential synergy. So that's why I've been mentioning it. Um, it's still, I think, in the process. I don't think it's actually been completely hashed out, but yeah, like as Lenny said, I think it's definitely important to kind of start following them to see if they could be a potential collaborator and affect hackathons.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. So we'll definitely pursue it and see if that's if that works out, because we would love to make hackathons also contribute to the EOS ecosystem, and of course, it could be a really good match. So we'll definitely explore this more.
Well, everybody, with that, I would like to close the DAO call for today. As Jesse mentioned, we've covered a lot of ground, and I hope everything is clear and that we're all still here and we're still behind the project and that we're still moving forward, even though we've had a setback today. But thank you all for showing up. It's nice to see so many new faces and old faces coming back. I think it's been a while since we've had such a large audience or so many people in the DAO call. It feels invigorating. Thank you very much, and I wish everybody a good day or a good night wherever you are. And
Thanks, David. And Rochelle, are you able to upload the recording?
Yep, I'll get it right over to you quickly.
Great. And then I'll continue my usual process then.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Bye, everyone.
Amazing. Thanks, everyone. See you
Bye.
next time.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
everyone. Bye.